Good day and welcome to Babylon Game Starter. Today we undertake the addition of a new action to the behaviors, and this action is going to be a portal action where we'll enable the character to be able to traverse to another scene, an environment as we will refer to it as. Let's go ahead and step into the code. We have some code here to add that will give us a new environment that we are going to be using as our portal target. Let's go ahead and copy this code. And it says to put it after the mansion in the environment section. So we want to put it after the mansion. So let's go ahead and make things a little bit easier to see and maybe hide the game HUD at this point. And let's go ahead and do a little search and search for mansion. And we can see the mansions right there. And we can go ahead and move that over. This just makes it a little bit easier to see. And let's go down here, and we're going to go beneath the mansion. So we're going to go down here and put a comma, and then go to the next line, and then we'll paste in this new code. And what I typically like to do is when I'm adding in a new section is I will typically go ahead and tab in the code so it looks a little bit nicer. So I think that's completely good there. I'm going to go ahead and maybe set that out like that. Okay, now let's look at what we have here. We have this cave environment, and it's going to be locked initially. If we go ahead and play that right now with this new code in there, we'll see that it has added the cave environment and it's locked. Okay, we can't even get to it from the drop-down menu. So you want to work these kind of aspects into your strategy, into your narrative as you kind of build out the goal structure of your game. Let's go back over now to the code and see what is next. Let's go down and see it says we want to add something over here. And this is going to be after the gamma crystal of the Mushroom Village items. So let's go ahead and copy this and go after the gamma crystal of the Mushroom Village items. So let's go and search Mushroom Village. And there we have the Mushroom Village. We can go right to it by searching for it. And then we're going to go to the item section. Here's the gamma crystal. We could even collapse that. All right, collapsed all the items. Let's go ahead and just focus on the gamma crystal. After the gamma crystal and before the boulder, let's go ahead and put an enter or a return, a new line, and make sure that the comma is still present on the previous line, and go ahead and paste that in. And now we have what we need to get in there. And let's go ahead and do that. And we can see what we're adding here is being referred to as the cave portal. So this, let's take a look at this a little bit more. So there's a 3D model that represents kind of like the portal access visual. And then we are noting that it's not collectible. This is serving another purpose. We're not collecting it. It's not part of the inventory, so that's also false. And then we have over here that it has a behavior based on proximity that has the action type portal with the target of the cave. Now, these are throwing errors right now because we have to go ahead and adjust a few bit more code sections. Let's go ahead and do that. So over here, we got to add this in the behavior manager to the execute action. This is a new conditional clause. So let's go ahead and copy this conditional clause and go to the behavior manager.ts. So if we look over here, we can go to the behavior manager. And there is the behavior manager. And let's go down to where it says execute action. And there it is. And we can go right after that first if clause and paste the else if section in there. And we can tab that in to make it nicer. And there we go. So there we go. We have this other type of action that we are making available called a portal action. And it's relying on some information to switch the environment, specifically this action target. So we still have a bit more to add. Let's go ahead and do that. Okay, let's go down and add the portal action type to the behaviors. So let's go ahead to the behaviors TS, and let's go ahead over here, copy that and go to behaviors TS. And in the behaviors TS, let's go ahead and find the appropriate section. Let's go ahead and go underneath the adjust credits action. Let's go ahead and put it right there. That's a good place. And there we have. Now we have portal action defined, but we want to make it part of this discriminate union here. We want to have a discriminated union so that we can have different types in the future. So let's go back and see what we have to do there. So we need to kind of extend that behavior action type. So let's go copy that. And we're just going to go change this a little bit. And now we have this behavior action, which could be an adjust credits action or a portal action. So there we have that ability to, extend the system like we're doing. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and save that. And if we go back, that's all of the code that we really need to add. And with that being in play, let's go ahead and save. And let's go ahead and then after saving, let's go ahead and maybe go full screen. And let's go hide the game HUD. Let's go ahead and run play with the new code. Now let's go and see what has actually been accomplished. Let's go over to the Mushroom Village. And in the Mushroom Village, let's go over to where that portal kind of trigger is. This is like the orb right up ahead of me. So when I go into this portal right here, when I run into this in proximity of this upcoming object, then I will get transported to the cave environment. Let's go check. There we go. Now we are in the cave environment. So think about how your particular narrative and how your goals can be enhanced with this kind of a mechanic. This is a very useful way to go between levels, to go between different parts of the same level, where you're seeing these environments potentially as two parts of the same level. It really depends on your story as to what's going on here. So I want you to think about that, and as you go forward, hopefully you will have some feedback and we can kind of collaborate on making this system even better. Have a wonderful day.